G'day everybody. Bit of a technical glitch tonight, but I think we're there. So give us a few comments, give us a few thumbs up, and it'll be that we're on live. So a little bit of a change of format tonight. I hope I'm not going to get kicked out of the will, but anyhow, these things you've got to do. And we've got some special guests joining me tonight, and none other than Barry and Mum. We've had a change of face. Hi, Mum.
Hi.
Hi, Mum.
Hey, is this mother from another brother or brother from another mother? Something like that, isn't it?
Yeah, we'll run with that.
Yeah, keeping it quiet.
Keeping it quiet. All right, so COVID bubbles and everything. I think we'll be all right and be safe tonight, but we'll see how we get on. So yeah, much to popular demand, Barry, isn't it? That we've had a change of guests for this evening.
Yeah, no, I hope Bruce isn't upset.
Well, whoops, I'm just flicking around cameras randomly here, getting the right picture. I have on good authority that he may have been in the back of shot already if you look carefully over Mum's shoulder.
Oh, yeah, I see the placement of the stubby cooler.
Placement of the stubby cooler, you're onto it for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's already been into the room and set up some of the props. So we've had a bit of a technical glitch to get underway, but we are going. So we've got 3 people online watching us. So I've already warned Mum that if she outrates Dad, this could be a problem.
Could be.
So yeah, look, we'll get underway. So thanks for coming along, Mum. It's been enjoyable doing this with Dad, and we've had by popular request a request to bring you along, get you out of the shadows, get you out of the background, and bring you to the front where we deservedly need to be. So yeah, everybody's got a mum and they're pretty special. So yeah, it's cool to fill in a bit of the story as to a bit of for the Pinepac Racing supporters, which this page is. Your involvement, everyone's seen you there, so we'll try and flush out some stories tonight. So getting underway, I've got a picture here, and we've shared this before, haven't we, Baz? The old girl.
Yep, that's right.
So we've sort of it's hard to find a place to start, but I thought I'd go here because how many other ladies can say that they've driven an HO to go and get the groceries? Mum?
Well, I'm not quite sure, but it was just the thing you did.
Yeah?
It was the only car we had.
Was it? Oh, okay. So I understand that the first time you saw the car, Dad's let the story out a little bit. You were at the at Helensville Delivery Birthing Hospital with Dawn, wasn't it?
Yes, I'd had Dawn, and he came in one night and he said, I want to buy an HO. And I said, oh, well, he'd always dreamed of buying an HO. So I said, okay. And so off he went and bought it. That was it.
So the first time you didn't see it, from what I recall, you heard it before you saw it.
Oh, you could hear it coming down the Helensville Straits when he was coming to the nursing home for a visit.
and I think if I try and drive, I've trouble being a week off. I've forgotten how to do all this. So I understand that was how you found out the colour.
Yes, well, I hadn't seen the car and I didn't know what colour it was, and I also hadn't seen Bruce's dad or Dawn's granddad, your granddad. He hadn't come into the nursing home. So with an excuse, he came in with the petrol cap of the car to show me what the colour of the car was.
So you can see it there, folks.
That's how I found out.
That very petrol cap right there. So it had 2 from delivery. Bruce told us it came with that and another one. So yeah, fancy that. So exciting times. Not only firstborn arriving, but yeah, the real baby of the
Well, he
family,
got
I think, Baz.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
he got his dream car. He'd been talking about it since, well, that was the August, and he'd been talking about it since about the June. We'd read about them, and he said he wanted one.
So this is
So he got it.
1971.
That's correct.
Yeah. So obviously that's given it away. Dawn's, I've just let the cat out of the bag.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dawn.
I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have picked it. I wouldn't have picked it for a 71 baby. I thought she.
No.
I thought she was more around XB era. But anyway.
Yeah. It's a bit bad, isn't it? You got to date the age of your kids by the model of Falcons that came out at the time.
Yeah.
But never mind. So Ross is online, and I'm sure in years to come we'll find out what came out. So this is Sophie Simpson, who's just recently joined the family, and she'll have a Tesla to be proud of when she's growing up. Those cars came out when you were born. Never mind. Let's get back to a throbbing 351 Cleveland V8 GTHO. So yeah, there you go. The very car. So like I said, this was a good a place as any to start, because it's something that the rest of the shows have touched on, and this is the mighty GTHO, which has got a pretty special place in the family. And tell us, how did you get to go to how was it to drive to the grocery store or somewhere else? It must have been pretty challenging to drive.
Well, it was very challenging. When he brought me home from the nursing home, we came to that very house that you can see in the picture, and I had Dawn in the back seat, and he went off to work, and he said, "Oh, well, you may as well go home in the car." And little did he didn't tell me that there was a trick to the gearing of the car. And so I parked outside the local shops because I needed to get some milk, bits and pieces. But then somebody kindly parked in front of me, but I couldn't find reverse to get out. And he didn't tell me that you actually had to push the gear leader forward first and then to find reverse. So I sat outside the local shops for quite some time with it, just chugging over before I got out of it.
I'm sure it didn't overheat at all, that thing. And now I also know a good little story trying to go into town. That would have been pretty challenging.
Oh, yeah. Well, you just got in the car and went to town. But then when you got into the car parks, of course, it had I think it was a lock diff, and it wouldn't go round to the next levels. And as you went up the levels, you had to go up a bit and then reverse and then turn around to get round the corner to get up to the next level. So you did that for every level you went up.
Well, I think it would be fair to say, Barry, that Mum's rating went through the roof. How many guys would dream to have driven a GTHO and his mum just taking the kids shopping?
Oh, exactly. Yeah. Just walk in the park too, by the sounds of it.
Yeah.
You would have had it. You would have had a sweat up by the time you got to the shops.
Yeah. So there's a lot of history that Mum has before driving this HO, with doing hill climbs and mud trials, and she's a pretty accomplished little steerer. And even in latter times, we'll get to it, she's won a trophy or two, Baz. So she's got a few skills, our Mum. And yes,
You
Ross.
kept that quiet.
Yeah, Ross has asked the question, is it true? Did Granny teach me how to drive? Granny?
Yep, I taught all my kids to drive.
So there you go. We've got all the skills from this very person, Baz. So, gave Bruce a run for his money. So,
he was.
Sorry?
No, I was just saying he was too busy earning the money so that we would go out and have fun.
Yeah, well, I mean, we touched on, and it was pretty hard to bring up, but for those who don't know, that not long after the HO arrived and Bruce drove it, unfortunately we lost Grandad before I was born in 72. So he decided to focus on work rather than toys for 10 years, as he said previously, and hats off to him for doing that, because it would have been a tough decision to let go of this pride and joy. Just got his dream car and then let it go. I couldn't imagine doing that. Yeah. Anyhow, let's not go there. That's it's got a happy ending, Baz, this story, don't worry. So
Yeah.
we're jumping around a little bit, and apologies because this is the Pinepac fans, and they're going to know a lot of the cars that we've touched on before. But what we're talking about before is behind the team, behind every good man, and obviously this is Dad. There's an even better lady and a mum, and this was the start of when Dad got back into racing with the XD, and yeah, there's Mum. You know, Mum's there. She's doing it all.
Yep.
Doing all the doing the PR work.
Yep.
Keeping the team together. Yep.
So there's a little whippersnapper off to the. There's me. There's Dawn off in front of look at that, an XE Fairmont by the looks of it. Oh, that was Auntie Lynn's station wagon, the blue station wagon. We rode to the racetrack, and they piled 6 kids in the back of the station wagon. We just sat under a duvet in the back and just rode to the track to Bay Park.
No harm done.
No seatbelts. It was cool. You just lie down in the back. So yeah, there's Mum, and oh look, I didn't actually notice that, Mum, but you can pick up who's next to you.
I think it's Cosmo, is it?
Yeah, I reckon it is. Absolutely, 100%.
Oh.
And I think
There's
it
Cosmo.
might be Michael on the right.
Yeah,
Ross's
your your eldest brother, younger than you,
brother.
but
Yep.
yeah, younger brother, but older of 2 brothers. Yeah, so
Yes.
Mum certainly was. Yeah, so there you go. Cosmo's getting the lessons of what he's got to do and get the team planning sorted out. So Mum and Cosmo were never far apart at the racetrack, which was pretty cool. So not only did she come along, she was very instrumental in making sure the team was organised and hotel bookings, I'm sure. And back in these days, we were camped out in the caravan just up the road at Bay Park at the motor camp, from memory.
That's right. Yes. We used to tow the caravan down, and Cosmo would bring the truck down with the car in.
Yeah, I don't think we had the truck yet for this car. This was still on trailer, and even I think sometimes was driven to the road, driven to the track. But check this out, Baz. This is Team Dedication 101. Oh, I've got the wrong button. I'll jump forward a couple on here. Look at this.
Yeah.
Oh,
cleaning tyres.
Cleaning the. Oh yeah. That's what it's all about, because without clean wheels, the car looks nothing.
Yeah.
That's right.
Hey, we've got a protest in already. Baz, we've got a protest in.
Oh, really?
Bruce, he's found the internet somewhere. I think he's in the other room.
Oh no.
Yeah, he says it's Mum or Dad. Don't worry, it's gender neutral. Gender neutral did the training, I think he's alluding to.
Oh, okay.
So he's claiming it. So yeah, this is back at Airport Road, the same photo that the GTHO, same house, sorry, that the GTHO was parked out front. This is Nan's house. This is the Anderson homestead, and here's the cleaning team. So there's hey Brittany, if Brittany's online, Brittany Anderson, Tony's wife. That's Tony sitting in the tyre.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
It's Tony. Yeah,
Yes.
that's Tony, curly-haired little Tony. Yeah,
Everyone
and that's
took a turn. Yeah.
that's Julie, my late cousin. Rest her loving soul. That's her just behind Mum, and that's her wheelchair off to the right-hand side. And she's got the polishing rag out. I think that's probably Kylie behind Rochelle, and Rochelle's on the far left, having a nice big smile. So that's what was happening. And I skipped over this photo, but there's the rest of the gang. There's Dawn. She's getting in there. So we've got a pretty good lineup.
Leading the gang.
It's a good team effort.
Yeah. That's a great team effort, isn't it? Look at them. You've got the... well, I think my mate Greg Ralph from Australia, Baz, he calls them the jelly bean wheels.
The jelly beans, that's right. Yeah.
The jelly beans.
We called them.
Yeah,
well, we used to call them peanuts, but yeah, either or.
Yeah. So
what are we cleaning them with there? Sunlight, dishwashing liquid, or what are we?
that's probably a few of Dad's old T-shirts.
Yeah.
Check that out. The team was pretty professional. Look, we even marked the tyres. Got the right rear going.
Right rear, yeah.
Yeah, got the slicks. I think these Dunlops might not be... Yeah, I think they might have been used a bit. They don't look pretty brand new. But yeah, look, that's just a sign of the dedication of Mum's efforts for the team. She's in there organising and polishing all that up. So that's
attention.
Attention
to detail.
That's pretty cool. So moving on, I brought this up. I couldn't find it in time for tonight's episode, but we talked about the HO. There's a photo. Well, I probably shouldn't have shared it because it was little Rochelle got upset when Mum left to take Dawn to ballet dancing, I think it was. And she thought Mum was never coming back, but she's just doing a little delivery for Rochelle, and she heads off in the fair lane that's pictured here, towing the XE during its construction. So check out the line of cars that Mum's had to deal with in the day. Look how long that thing is.
That was a lovely car to drive, that one. Yeah.
Yeah, a few more creature comforts in that one than the HO had.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's help me out, Baz, because I didn't realise until I did a lot of research on the XEs. Obviously, the Fairlane, it had the extra quarter window in the back, didn't it?
Yeah, well, that'd be the wheelbase of a wagon. I think it is the station wagon wheelbase. They're always a bit longer. Well, I knew that.
A lot of the political cars, the government cars, they were the bigger, longer ones, weren't they? A bit more leg room in the back. So again, us kids, we used to just sleep on the floor on long trips. It was nice and warm down on the floor. Who needed to sit on the back seat? Just what you did.
Well, when we went camping, remember we used to always go at night and tow the caravan, but we'd make a whole bed of the back seat and the floor well there.
Yeah.
Stack that all up with mattresses, and you three kids would sleep on the backs in the back while we got the caravan off to wherever we were going.
Yeah, great times. I remember the tunnel, resting your head on the tunnel like a pillow.
Yeah.
So you're only about that far away from the drive shaft. Good times.
That'd be quite soothing. That the noise of the drive shaft, or just the vibrations going round and round, put you to sleep.
So absolutely. So the car behind, that started another era of Dad's racing, and we'll get on to that. But boy, did Mum get involved in upping the game of the team's presentation, Baz. Check this out. Ho ho ho!
Yeah. We decided we needed a team uniform.
Look at it going on there. Rocking the... I don't know what the jacket is, Mum, but even... That was a skirt, wasn't it? Those were yellow skirts that you guys made.
Yeah, Auntie Lynn and I had skirts, and your children, you had shorts, and the guys had trousers.
And you guys, I remember... You guys did the sewing. Like you've done sewing. Like
no.
Lynn did some sewing, but you've done a lot of sewing as well, haven't you?
Yes, but we had that uniform. We had the trousers, the bottom, and the skirts made in the city in K Road. Yeah. Oh,
right. But I remember Auntie Lynn measuring me up for a sweatshirt. You guys made the sweatshirts.
Yes, some of them. Yeah.
Yeah, and then when I went to check this out, Baz, I did clothing at, and I've still got it, and you've seen it. There's a photo of me wearing it at your place. The muscle top.
Oh yeah.
I made that at home, home tech or clothing when you did it at primary school.
Home economics.
Did cooking and sewing, and they says, "Oh, you got to make a jumper," and I went, "Hey, I've got the ideal thing," so I made myself, and I've still got it in my collection. And as you know, Baz, it still fits. It still fits.
You've done well.
So, Baz, we have to make a commitment here. We have to do Mum's and Auntie Lynn, I'd never get Auntie Lynn on this. She just wouldn't live up. She wouldn't let me. We have to do a retro round just like this. I'm not going to wear the skirt. You can wear the skirt if you want, Baz, but retro round.
I've got the legs for it.
Come on. if there's enough votes online, if we get enough
got the
votes
shirts.
online, we'll do the retro round, and we'll get the pants, and we'll get the skirts for the girls, and we'll be into it.
Yeah,
Very good.
I'm into that.
All right.
That because my shirt, because those shirts, obviously the first ones didn't have the brand in the corner. You know, the Anderson O'Leary brand.
Yes, this was
'Cause
this was the first shirt.
Yeah, I think I got the second one.
Right. Yeah. So this, if you
It's
look
got-
closely, this has got the jelly bean wheels, and it's the original car as it came. I think one of these photos probably was from the photo shoot up on top of the packets of timber when the car was first
Oh, yeah.
launched. So
Yep.
that was the first print, and then the second print had a much newer car on it from the Simmons wheels era. So there you go, just a little tidbit. Now, Mum, you're working really good to the script because we don't have one, but you're prompting me right on cue. Caravan and tripping and holidays. Check that out.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, we
Remember
did
that
5
trip?
weeks in the South Island with that trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Baz, we've had our first vote.
For retro,
Yep.
or does that mean I'm wearing the skirt?
Rochelle's onto it. Yep. Rochelle says, yes, I want to see that. Not the skirt, but the retro. I'm sure that's what she meant. Not the skirt, Rochelle? No. No, please. And, yep. Maureen will be... Yeah, Maureen's got the shirts. Ross says, do it. Yeah, Ross, you don't need any encouragement. Anyhow, back to the show. So, yeah, 7 weeks. We touched on this with Dad because, obviously, it was his first trip down the South Island racing, I believe. And they packed it into the truck, so the XE's in the back. This is at Mount Cook. So we drove all the way up to the glacier to go and look at the glacier. I've done the trip again with Andrea recently, and it was amazing to go down memory lane to rock up back in the place where we were with the race truck. And this is her, but we need to give Mum a lot of credit, Baz, because I heard that the original plan was that the car was going to sleep on the trailer, or not on the trailer, sorry, sleep on the, whoops, I just broke my screen.
On the ramps.
Yeah, that's right. Tell us the story, Mum.
Oh, well, we didn't think that we would be able to afford to have hotels and that sort of thing. So your father was going to set up hammocks in the truck so that we could sleep at night in the truck, and he'd push the car out onto the ramps for the night. And then in the morning we'd pack up shop and he'd put the car back in and off we'd go.
The only thing that
didn't work out.
No, there's a bit of a flaw in the plan, because if you had to push the car out onto the ramps, it was either backing them down the ramps because you'd have to close the doors. You couldn't use the elevated ramps, otherwise you wouldn't be able to get the doors shut. And I'm sure, looking at the background, Baz, I don't think we would have enjoyed sleeping in the elements with all that snow around.
I would have jumped in the race car, sleep in the car.
True.
Yeah.
No, so look, just again highlighting. I mean, as a kid, I mean, how that was just so cool. We were used to sitting in small spaces, so we sat in the back there, in the little sleeper, and there was a dicky seat in the middle, and we'd take turns in the dicky seat, and we drove from Whenuapai to Invercargill, went up Bluff, Mount Cook.
Went up Bluff.
Jeez.
What happened at Mount Cook when we arrived there at the Hermitage and we were staying in the cottages?
Yeah.
And then we went in for dinner, and one of the waiters was saying, "Oh, I don't know who's got a race truck outside." My father said, "Well, it's me," and the guy didn't believe him, and he said, "Well, I've got to take the car for it. I've got to run it in. I've just changed the engine in the car," and he said, "Well, if you want to have a ride in the car, get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'll take you for a buzz down the main straight there, going out from Mount Cook." And that's what they did. He took the waiter out for a run to test the motor.
No, Dad gave us a little bit of the story, and it's you're pretty much bang on the money. And I can remember going and helping Dad unload it that morning. But there's another story I just noticed when zooming in, and I don't know whether you can remember, Mum, but you just see it here under the that we used to nickname the driver of the wood car Bruce, and then this was Jacko on the chainsaw who just cut the tree down. But can you see the line that's on the door?
Oh, yeah.
Can you remember what happened?
From what I remember, wasn't he drove past somebody's car that was parked, and they opened the door, and then he drove on through and took the door with him.
So yeah, we were waiting at Wellington to get on the ferry, and we're all queued up, and we're all parked there, and it was our turn to drive on, and they wanted the big truck to go in, turn around, and come back, and then they'll send all the cars in, and they said, right, Bruce, start up, off you go, and the old mate next to us had the door open, and the door caught just on the side of the body, and
That's right, yeah.
and then it caught, and it just rubbed, and it just absolutely folded the door around onto the front of the car, just turned it into a gull-wing door, and the old mate's flapping his hands, and he's all, and Dad says, we're going to get on the ferry, and drove off.
Yeah.
I don't
So
know what the finish of that story was.
No, I can't remember. I know we got on the ferry and carried on. So, but anyhow, great times.
It wasn't a Commodore.
I can't remember what it was, but I remember it had a puncture hole in the Luton body. And if I go next door, where this truck is still at work, and if you look down the side of the truck now today, you'll still see the puncture hole in the door.
Gosh.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's still got the puncture hole in the door. And yeah, great memories. Well, we're only on first line here, and I've got 4 lines of photos, so we're going to be a little while. Half an hour already, guys. Hope you got your beverages at hand.
Yep.
Look, Mum, this car, not only is it special for the family, the team, for me, we'll get on to, I bought a road car of it, so the XE that is hiding in the back. But these next photos, bear with, it opened up, I know you Dad's pretty cool. He's done a lot of stuff, and it's hard because it's just your old man, but he teamed up with this other fella. Oh, hang on, wrong photo. Start again. I gave it the big intro, and now I've stuffed it up. Here it is.
Yeah.
This fella.
Yep. Yeah.
So
No.
it's pretty cool. I know we're all fans. Baz is a fan.
Just a little.
Just a little. I'm a fan, but I think the biggest fan, it's got to be you, Mum.
Me. Yep. No, he was always a fan of mine. Yeah. I always like to see him run.
So there's so many stories we could touch on, a few here, but I sort of,
So, Judith, were you a bit starstruck when he came over for the? Well, obviously, it was a couple of times he came over, but was it you sort of a little bit starstruck?
Felt very honoured that he would race with us. Yeah, and it was just lovely to get to know him as a person, not just an idol. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was.
And he's just a normal bloke. Well, but they both are. They're just normal people when you get to talk to them.
Yep. No, just lovely people. Yeah.
And Dick and Dad, they got very similar personalities, and also I suppose similar to Jacko as well. Jacko's quite the joker, and you got the three of them together, and it just was dynamite. Just they got on like mates, and just the racing was the side attraction to having good times together.
Yes.
So I put up a couple of photos here because this just I kind of look at I put this one on the family group chat just the other day and says what do you do when God leaves God, because anyone who's got a forward heritage, Dickie is God's looking in, giving you a pep talk. What do you do? I suppose first thing is you listen.
Yeah,
I guess
that's
so.
right.
Yeah, no, this is pretty cool. So that's one that was borrowed from the Roaring Season, Steve Holmes's books and stuff, and yeah, that's just it encapsulates so much. And I still am on the hunt for that yellow helmet. I used to wear that riding the trike around the paddock, and it's the one helmet I want to add to my collection. I can't find it.
It can't be far.
No, so yeah,
Have you looked in the back of the shed?
Yeah, there's still places that it's probably hiding. So yeah, so there's Wellington. Now, Mum, we heard from Dad about the qualifying that happened that weekend. You were just like Jilly was, I suppose, in Australia, Baz. Jilly was Dick's right hand for timing, lap timing.
Yep, timing.
And
yep.
and no different with Mum. Mum took that manta at Wellington, and she. Do you remember the qualifying story, Mum?
Oh yeah. Well, from what I remember, that each driver had to provide a timekeeper, and of course I got given the job, and I was taking Dick's times and just not thinking anything of them, just writing them down, lap after lap after lap, and came in and I said, you've done pretty well, and he said, yeah, we've done pretty well, and the powers that be had him way down, the field for starting and for qualifying. And Dick said, no, that's not right. So he took my time book and took it into the officials and said, these are the correct times. He said, those are the times I'm going by. And he was sat on pole.
So,
Yeah.
oh, so you were the reason you got on pole.
Well, they believed my times, luckily. Yeah.
Yeah, no, Mum was, and I think I told the story on the other stream the other night, for those who may have heard it, but yeah, Dick came back and just as he does with the one-liners, says, oh, old mate was out getting a hamburger. He wasn't on the stopwatch. And I still to this day, I sucked that in and swallowed it and was so gullible as a 13-year-old, just thought that was the truth. Because why wouldn't you? So
Yeah.
we shared some of the photos of the team with Dad, and as we said, the photos that we did have up were just a minor selection of the archives, and here's Mum leaning in talking with Keith Murray. Keith was the team manager back there, and Mum's probably given him a tune-up saying, oh, the car's lap times are wrong. So yeah, Mum was never far away from in an important role, and valuable contributor to the team. So yeah, great times at Wellington. Now, it wasn't all beer and it wasn't all seriousness at the track, because there was a bit of fun had as the team, wasn't there, Mum, over the years?
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
we had a lot of fun together. Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you alluding to?
Are you worried?
Yes.
Okay, we'll come back to this one, but look, how's this for fun as a team?
Oh yeah. No, every year when we came back from Tauranga, wasn't it? We would go whitewater rafting, or we'd do something.
we
as
did
a
something.
team.
Yeah. This was at the, if I can find my photo board here, is it Wairoa?
Something like that.
Wairoa River.
Yeah.
We did this, and there's me in the front. I think I'm going to grow into that hat, Barry.
Yeah.
There's Mum.
There's Cosmo at the back.
Yeah, I can't recall who this is behind Mum, but there's Ken Hopper with the beard. And we go round to Rochelle. Not Rochelle, that's Dawn. I think that's the guide at the back, right in the middle, and there's Cosmo again.
Well, he was the guy that steered the boat. Yes.
Yeah. Now there's a good story with Cosmo and him, and I'll get to it quickly. And I think that's KP behind Dad. I can't see who's behind that, but off to the side, here's Jacko. Look at you, stupid! Look at you, stupid idiots! What are you doing over there? Now, I know when we turned up, if you look at the raft, and I think he's gone over to inspect which one's the safest because we had 2 rafts. And Jacko thought these things are going to sink. It's got more patches on it than there is original raft. And I think the professional, maybe one of the other rafting companies was going down the river, and there were a few notches up on this one, and it made ours look like, ooh, we could be in trouble.
Yeah.
But the story with Cosmo, you see how Dad's holding the handle there?
Yep.
The raft guy always said, keep your hand over the paddle like that. Don't hold it like he is at the back.
Yeah.
Because if you push off something, it slides through your hand and you can lose your paddle. Well, Cosmo did that at the back, and it slid through his hands, and it whacked the guy in the ribs because he was trying to push himself off the cliff that he was going into. But of course, with the rafts, you just bounce off. But Cosmo got panicked, and he put the stick out, the oar out, to push off, and it went straight back and punctured the guy in the ribs and broke his ribs.
Oh no!
He was winded. He couldn't breathe for the rest of the trip, and we barely made it down. Well, we made it down, but I mean, he was pretty buggered. Oh, good times. So you mentioned Bay Park, Mum, but the other place we went to after Bay Park was what's it called? The island, Treasure Island, and the water slides.
Oh, yep.
On Treasure Island.
Was that at Mount Maunganui?
Mount Maunganui, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah.
Running down the slides.
Right.
That was awesome. Again, Cosmo,
We-
he was in the thick of it. I think he flipped one of the bumper boats. He flipped it upside down in the bumper boat pool and was swimming to the side to get out without getting run over.
But then he would also go down the slide and then just stop in the tunnel and get all the water to build up behind him, and then off he'd go.
Ah.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I got distracted. I'm just looking off to the messages, and we've got a very nice, lovely message here from Puti Tamahiri. I remember my daddy Tom Pinepac, so one of the Pinepac daughters, siblings. George. Yeah, just saying. I remember my daddy Tom Pinepac used to take the truck. Yeah, so Tom Pinepac was one of our long-time truck drivers at Anderson O'Leary, and
That's right.
yeah, he was a lovely guy. I played a lot of touch rugby with that family, and he did drive the truck a couple of times. I don't know exactly where, but she is correct, and she still has the T-shirt Mum and Dad used to wear.
Oh, good.
Yeah. And my Terreo is very bad. I must apologise. And she's signed off, and she's saying love, I think, to the Anderson family. So it's very nice. Nice of you to be watching. And Ross Borden, Wahara River. It only has water a few Sundays with with the power station. That's right. It feeds the power station. So. Oh, she's a daughter. Sorry, Tom Panap's daughter. So she's just typed up that. My apologies. I got confused. So yeah, Eliza. Yeah, no, it's great. Nice to have you on board. Great times, great memories. And thank you. She's excited to see us online as always. So it's nice to share the memories. Moving on. We're not even halfway, folks. So we've got to get a wriggle on. I hope you're up for it. So again. A lot of behind the scenes stuff here, and it's only fitting because because that's where Mum's specialty was, but she was an important behind the scenes, and without that you don't go racing, Baz. So here's a cool little collection of people. There's Mum just tucked in behind there, and there's Auntie Lynn. She's made the stream.
Lynn, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Ross is online. And there's a couple of Simpson relatives there. So that's Min, that Donna at the front. Yeah, Maureen behind with the cap. And Donna at the front. And there's Auntie Lynn. And Veen Smith there in the middle of picture, and I think that's Grant Hill.
Okay, yeah.
Just back on there, but and the trailer, the race trailer. So check out the catering that's going on here, Baz. There's a bit of
There's a
bit of
going on.
organising going on. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's quite fitting that this has come up because now this is 1986, and I know for a fact that it is exactly the 16th of November 1986, which is tomorrow.
Oh, yeah,
And
Okay.
we know what tomorrow is, don't we?
yeah. It's the driver's birthday.
And that's exactly what was going on right here. So look at that for a segue. How cool's that? He's probably watching still in the other room. Yeah. I went through and thought, well, Mum's coming online today, and how fitting is that? Tomorrow it's this old fella's birthday, and this is the detail that Mum went to, and yeah, it's got a cake, and if I zoom in on that, actually, we can see
38. Gosh.
38. Wow.
And look at the little car on.
It's got the little car in it.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
And it's yellow. Oh. Mum makes the best banana cakes. Baz, just saying. Banana cakes, chocolate icing. Oh, mate.
Can't beat it.
You get fat.
Oh, no, it's
Oh.
my go-to. Banana cake. Oh, just bring back memories. Mum's banana cakes were legendary. So yeah, this is at Pukekohe. Benson and Hedges, 1986. 6 hour, Pukekohe. There you go. Good authority. There's young Jacko behind, so he's 7 years younger, so he's 31. Shit.
He's
Now,
eyeing up a piece of that cake.
yeah. I think there's a few Johnstons hanging around here, but not maybe in this camera angle. I thought for a minute there that might have been one of them behind Dad, but
Nah.
not to be. I know that's Murray Lonergan just there with Team Jacket on. And
We were there. We were, well,
yeah, there's Dawn with the. Oh, look, there's the hoodies. No.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, Rochelle.
sweatshirt.
Rochelle's favourite bacon egg pie. Yeah, we had bacon egg pie at the track all the time. Oh my God,
Yeah.
that was so good. Big thick ones too, Baz. Like not this little, like thick bacon and egg pies. Oh,
yeah.
Yeah,
Not
Ross,
all
no-
pastry.
no peanut brownies, Ross. No, Auntie Maureen was letting us down. That's her go-to, peanut brownies.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there you go. That was quite cool. I thought that was really fitting. So yeah. Now, unfortunately, through my very bad technology, I couldn't convert the video that we did, Mum. But you remember, please vouch for me. Just a couple of years ago when we got the XE running, and Grant Dalton and everybody, and I think through Jeff and Vicky, we returned favour and gave you your birthday cake at the track. Only just a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
So gone full circle, Baz. That's quite cool.
Yeah. Oh, was it? Were you only 38 then too, Jude?
Yeah, I was just turning 38. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of catering, Mum, she became Grant Dalton's best friend. Just in saying that. He used to come and raid our catering, didn't he? Mum had to
Yeah,
give his
all-
catering. Yep.
Yeah, he always had to come and get a piece of bacon and egg pie. There was always a piece for him, and
Yeah.
the lollies.
And the
Raid
lollies, yeah.
Wellington. Yeah.
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 Good times. Great times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, Baz, is this, you know how we're talking about dating the eras based on the cars around? Maybe you
Yeah.
could do that with these.
They're like a Rhineck can, isn't it?
Haven't seen one of them for a while. Check this out.
No, I think you still get them.
Oh, the white
there's
Steinies.
Steiny Classic on the roof.
Yes.
Oh, we've got it all covered.
Yeah.
Now, there's a reason why Dad's name's in red too on that, because he was actually a relief driver. And this is, well, you can't quite see it underneath, but this is Wayne's car, 33, because Dad's car had unfortunately been taken out of action in practice by the co-driver. So we'll touch on that on another day. All right, moving along. This is going great guns. Nothing like burning up 3/4 of an hour. It's all good. Oh my goodness! Somebody. So many memories. Yes, going to work with Papa in the truck. So it must be some more of the whānau from Pinepac, which is really cool to see them tuning in. Now, I got this one. Oh.
The goat.
I don't recall seeing that at the track.
Sorry, I meant to turn the camera off. Oh, gather my thoughts. This is too funny. This here will take an hour to explain.
That's a Wellington, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, this is so funny. So, what do kids do when they go away racing? They just get up to all sorts of trouble and mischief. And so, Dawn and I, we were, the first thing we would do was go and check out the hotel and find the cleaners cupboard and the condiments. And we'd come back with the biggest handful of soaps and shampoos and usually the little mints, all that stuff. So we were staying at the Capitol Hill, I think this was, and this was the main, further up by the, what's the...
just above Parliament, just above the Parliament buildings.
That was the apartments, Capitol Hill Apartments, but then up the road, by the Botanical Gardens, was the hotel, and we used to go up there for the restaurant. But we stayed up there once, and this was, pardon me, this is, if I look at the date, I'll get there in a minute, January 87. So this is January 87, and this apartment, Wellington's steep, right? So it's on a hill. We go to our floor, the 7th floor. Oh yeah, what's out the back? There's grass. But us kids, we've gone up 7 floors and there's grass. Oh, it's on a bank, right. Oh look, old mate goat's out here. Oh, let's go and play with him. And there's me off to the side there, deciding what you do with a goat. Yep, you grab it by the horns. They don't like that. So, Mum, do you remember what we did after we were feeding it? We were just having a bit of a play with it.
They brought it in through the back door into the hotel. and he came into the the passageway, and he was running up and down the passage with the kids.
But he was finding the cornering a little bit difficult on the carpet. And he was butting into the doors. And we thought, shit, we better get this thing outside, otherwise we're getting all sorts of trouble. Oh, before he shit all over the carpet. Oh yeah, because this is the baby.
Yeah,
little baby there.
Yeah. So we eventually got it back outside. Yeah.
Sorry, I just had to.
You lost it.
Yeah, I did.
You lost it.
I just got to get makeup. Okay, so yeah, I mean.
But was that the year of the Nifty 50s as well?
No, that was the Nifty 50s. I think we'd killed them all by 87. They certainly made it out in 85 back with Dick Johnson, because there's good pictures of him riding the Nifty 50s around, and Peter Brock only had a mountain bike and or a BMX or something, and Dick used to rock up on the Nifty 50 next to him and go, geez, Pete, don't like your wheels, mate. Drive off. And that was the start of the pit bikes, so that was pretty cool. But yeah, those, well, you can say it, Mum, but down at the Capitol Hill Apartments we had a whole floor one year, and the Nifty 50s doing laps around the floor, and burnouts in the bathtub.
Well, but what about your two kids, you and Dawn, bringing, because the guys needed their beers, so we loaded up the Nifty 50s with the beers, and
the baskets. They had baskets at the front and at the back, little wire baskets.
And they backed them into the lift to get them up to the whatever floor we were on.
So we went into
And
the basement.
Trouble was, yes.
Yep.
So then they went up the floors, but they pushed the wrong button, and they opened the doors at the floor before where we were staying, and there were two old ladies standing out in the corridor, and there's these two kids in the lift, full of beer and nifty 50s. So they shut the door quickly and went back up the lift, and then we took all the beers into the and stored them in the bath, didn't we?
Yeah.
Ran
I think
the bath to keep them cold.
I think the nifty 50s ended up in the bathtub as well. I think Wayne might have done a few burnouts in one of them.
Yeah.
But do you remember the story
Such
when
a
you?
terrible team.
Did you remember the story when you checked out on the Monday morning? You've got to cover this off.
Oh no! Yeah, we sound like a real bad crew, but they were partying up large on this particular floor, and then somebody let off a fire extinguisher, and there's clouds of brimming dust and that all over the place, and we sort of shut it down pretty quickly, and all sort of went off to bed. And then in the morning I went down to pay the bill for the as we were checking out, and the guy behind the counter said, "Look, I'm so sorry for all that performance that was going on last night. We called the police, but they couldn't find out who was doing it, but we'd all gone to bed by then."
Yeah.
And
so
then,
then
she did actually, they said, "Oh, and please do come back next year." But it wasn't us.
Good times. Anyhow, we might have to
That
split
looks
this
very
into.
serious.
This might have to split into 2 episodes. This could be you saying, "Hey, I don't think those lap times are correct. I think you need to go back and check that stopwatch, sir." Although this it kind of looks like Auntie Robin a little bit. I'm not sure.
I think it is Robin. Yes.
I think she might have come down to Wellington. This is again 1987. And for those of you following at home, it's the January meeting, not the World Touring Car Championship October meeting or November meeting. And there's, I think that's Dawn in the background.
Yes. She would have come down from university then. Yeah.
Oh, 87. Still a little bit of, no, she'll still be at high school at 87.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, look, rocking the perms there, Mum. Look at that.
Yes. Oh, yes. Era of the perm.
Oh, we'll have to find the photo one day. Bruce has actually got a perm as well, because that was a deer, and he got that.
I think we found that photo this afternoon. Yep.
Oh, look out. It's coming.
Yeah, I bet you he was so happy when you found it.
Yes. So yeah, there's Mum. She's in the timing tower that we've set up. We brought the leather lounges with us, and they're Wayne's from Pinepac. So they went all the way to Wellington, made up a pit box, and got serious. Now, sort of trying to keep up. We're sort of jumping around a little bit here, but there's a bit of importance to this. We've moved quite a few decades ahead. So we've gone from 87. This is 92 now. And this is yours truly. See me there? Just off to the right, left-hand side there, Baz?
Yep, gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
This was me venturing into being a race driver. And Mum come down to the my trial at the Shallot Challenge Scholarship. So I drove the little laser in the background and the Formula Ford. And the inaugural winner the year before, do you know who that was?
Greg Murphy?
Yeah.
No? Yep,
Yes,
was.
Greg won it the year before, and this was me following in Greg's footsteps, so trying out for the challenge. And Mum was the one who brought me down. She taught me how to drive. She introduced me to the race car. She was going to do the pep talk. We went there the day before, did private practice, and first time at Manfield. I'd only ever driven at Pookie. So, it was pretty cool. This was a Richard Lester motorsport thing with Shell. It was a great initiative. I think the winner the second year was Shane Drake. And
Okay.
Richard said...
yeah, but you did very well, didn't you?
I did too well, I think. Nah. Look, I have driven a Formula Ford, and there's the proof of it. And I've got another photo in my collection. I didn't put it here because it's not about me, it's about Mum. And this is a bit of an appreciation shout out to Mum for taking me down, and Dad for the opportunity. And Richard Lester says, you know, obviously he knew the family history, and says, oh, we'll see you at the racetrack one day. And all these years forward, I've raced against Shane Drake, and I've actually raced in Greg Murphy's DVS team at Bathurst. So yeah, it was very proud to have gone full circle with that, but proud for Mum to take me down. And how was it, Mum, with me hopping in a race car? Like, what were your nerves like when I decided to have the opportunity?
Yeah, it was quite different to have your son driving. You know, like just when your father drove, well, I had married him when he was driving, so you weren't worried at all. But then when your child gets into the car, it's a bit nerve-wracking. But anyway, you know, you just have to run with it, don't you?
I guess. It's not that I've ever had any incidents. I've been clean. I've never had any accidents, so I've never given you cause for concern.
No, only
Well, there was that one time.
Oh, there's a good story with Wellington. Can you remember that, Mum, watching me in the Nissan Sentra from the BP car park?
Yeah, I was up on several levels up on the car park, and it was just above the chicane, and I saw Andrew coming round in the Sentra.
Yeah.
And took one turn in the Sentra and was up on two wheels, and then he went round the next turn, he was over there on the next two wheels, and oh gosh, I thought he was going to go right over. But no, he managed to save it, and off he went.
Yeah, so I hit the chicanes down the front straight when the pits were out on Jervois Quay, is it? And I punched the strut right through the top of the tower. It hit that hard, and it went down the road at about, a good 200 metres on two wheels. And I thought, shit, this is going to be bad. And it came down, and but Mum was standing overlooking in the car park, and Dad was next to her. And she just freaked out and went, grabbed Dad by the shoulder. And Dad tapped her from the other side and says, you better let that guy go. She grabbed him. She just clutched onto the stranger's shoulder and put her fingernails right into him. He's like, ooh.
Yeah, I actually have a bad habit of doing that, even sitting in the stands, you know. I just grab the person that's sitting next to me, and if something's going wrong, I just grab them and, oh my God, I don't know you, I'm so sorry.
So, seeing as we're going to go for outright embarrassment about the perms, I thought this was only appropriate to bring up Baz. So, Dad got back into the racing, got invited down to Wellington to go and drive with Ed Lamont. I don't know what's worse than this. Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Got the spike going.
Yeah.
Got the Movember. Oh, it's Movember. Hey, there you go. It's fitting.
Yeah.
See, it's a segue.
Yes.
Well, it looks like you might have started in June with that.
Oh, Chris cropped that out of the photo. And there's young Rochelle. So she's got the perm going as well. So it's cool to have her. It was a family thing. Like, we were always away supporting Dad, and this was Dad racing with Ed Lamont. That's one of his crew members there. I can't remember the gentleman's name. And this was after the successful 92 Wellington event where Eddie did very, very well. And there's Mum out for the team dinner at the end of the night. She's looking pretty good. I don't know about her son. Holy sheepers. Oh, yeah, Rochelle's still watching, so, yeah, thanks, Rochelle. We've got matching shirts nearly. Do you know the sad thing? And Andrea can vouch for that. I still had that shirt up until a couple of years ago. And my God, this is 92. I got to get a new shirt. Oh, this is just too funny.
No, that's come back.
Yeah, well, I don't know whether the Mo's ever going to come back.
Oh,
I used to think that was short hair, eh? Now look at this. Jeepers.
Yeah.
And I know Dad disowned me when I got that spiky haircut, didn't he? He hated it. He didn't like it at all.
Yeah. No.
And
But
who's the barb?
I think when you got it, and we actually, because your father didn't think much of guys dyeing their hair, so we got a green streak put through it, if I remember correctly. And then you went across the road, and he just about fell through the floor when he saw it.
Who was the barber across the road at Pinepac?
Adrian.
That's
Adrian
right.
White.
That's
Yes.
right. Yes, she used to do them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
But
times.
she was the girl. She was the one that did your father's perm too.
That's right. I think it was Sid. The prenatal worker. He had a big afro. He says, "Oh, you can't get a haircut like this, bro." And so Bruce went and got the perm. Shocking. Anyhow, moving on. So, that's enough embarrassment for me. So yeah, look, there was a bit of a break with Dad's racing, and then back into it. But never far from her man was Mum, and there she is. Photo opportunity at Whenuapai. This is 1997 now, so we jumped forward a few years. There's Wayne and Dawn. So there's Jacko, there's the car, and one of the trucks. I'm not sure whether that's probably one of Tom's old trucks. It might have actually been the race truck converted to a road truck. Hang on. I need to check that license plate out one day. Yeah. And, look at that.
Oh, that's a nice
Look
one.
at that.
That's nice.
Jeepers. What was I thinking? Oh, good Lord. Got the work uniform, so I'm working for Pinepac now. Check that out. Got the tie going and everything. Goodness gracious.
Yep.
At least my hair's grown back and the mo's gone. Oh, yeah, Ross, it's not one of those adult moustaches. Yeah, so look, Mum, you've always been there, supportive for Dad, and then supportive for me, and giving you heart failure on many occasions. So I apologise for that, but it's been fun. Here's you and Dad again. This is the cover photo for tonight's show that we put up, and this was the following year at Whenuapai. This is 1998, so that was very cool. Now Dad's rocking the tie. Look at that. Like father, like son. Jeepers. So that's Dad with his baby and with his special lady. Getting a bit of sensibility back in this. I'm still getting over that Wellington trip. So, speaking of trips, here's another cool trip down memory lane that we did, didn't we, Mum?
Is that to Eastern Creek?
Yeah. So, Dad snuck over there a few years before, and he got to drive the then restored Abe's Babe, which, there's the HO special, the XE special, Abe's Babe special, the Mustang special. I mean, there's still some pretty fond attachment to all of these cars.
They're like children. They're all like children. It's hard to have a favourite one, I guess.
Oh, no, I'm a number one son.
Oh, cut it out.
I can claim that. Sorry, Rochelle.
Yeah, I guess.
So the backstory we talked about with Dad, that he got to go over, and the special thing here is that the Abe's Babe was restored by Brett Madron with Ken Hopper's input, doing the work, and obviously it now lives on, and we've been in touch, and I follow the team in Europe. We're gonna catch up with Eric from French Beat Connection and see the car and its new home. Here's Dad. He got to go and race back in Australia again for the first time. So this was a connection that I teed up with the two cars. There's Mum and Dad at the front, me sneaking in the middle. There's Vicky and Jeff long-time supporters of me and the team. And there's Ross half asleep. Oh, Rossi, what are you doing? Mate, come on. It must have been a hard night the night before. Got on the Terps too hard on the first night away. And there's Philip Pratt. So, look, and all of those people today still crew with the car. And also with the addition of John Forrest, who helps us out quite a bit.
What's the red shirt?
Pretty cool. Sorry?
The red shirts, what were they?
So that was a Central Muscle Cars classed T-shirt,
Yes.
from memory.
Oh, okay.
So that's Nortec Electronics, which is Andrew Turner, if I'm correct.
That's right.
And then it has Central Muscle Cars, Kiwi Central Muscle Cars. There we go. See, Dad's one a bit better. Getting a bit of chest there, Mum. Better back out of that.
No.
There it is.
I'm saying nothing.
Oh, the phone's going in the background. Someone's calling in with a complaint. So that was pretty cool. So again, I know there's a little bit of a backstory to this, because when Dad raced in Australia with the Group A car, unfortunately Mum didn't get to go in 85 and 86, because 85 she's home looking after the kids, and same again in 86, although I managed to sneak over in 86. So this was the first time that she got to see Bruce racing in Australia. So yeah, that was quite a fitting weekend.
It was a good trip. Yep. Good
Yeah,
trip.
and we managed to go back and do it a second time. Now, Baz, brace yourself. We've gone for all-out embarrassment on the next one. And
where'd you find nudies from me?
Dear.
That's not real that time, that hearing.
Yeah. This is my older sister's. We kind of set her up with with the date of the HO back in the day. This is her 40 birthday, and I suppose it just goes along and shows here in one photo what Mum encapsulates, and that is she's always having fun. Gets involved. It was a great night. A hell of a great night.
Was it Tina Turner night, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, there's a story, and we heard the story from Bruce, didn't we, Baz, about the Tina Turner shirt and his collarbone in '85, and Tina's probably his. I don't know, Barbara Streisand, Tina Turner. It's pretty hard to tell which one's his favourite.
That's right. He didn't want a shirt cut, did he? Is it?
No,
is that what
that's
it was?
right. So Mum was dressed up here as Tina Turner. Was it Tina? Yeah. So that was.
I think so.
Just showing Mum. She's in boots and all. So not only supporting Bruce, supporting me, supporting the family, just whatever's on, she's into it. She's young at heart.
Oh well, if you can't beat him, you got to join him.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Don't change that. You just stick with that one.
So we're just about halfway, guys. Anyhow, check out these two young fellas. Wow, look at that.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I mean, somewhere in the background, somewhere in there's a couple of blokes, but I think the car's the star of the show. The star of the photo.
Yeah, that was a good night.
So, Baz, this is a shout out to you, mate. We started racing at Hamilton, and we were racing the NZ V8s back then, and we hadn't really got back in touch. And you, being a Hamiltonian, this is your place of work. This is the Toyota dealership in Hamilton.
There was back in the
We'd
workshop.
been and raced at the classic Hamilton meeting in the mid-90s. Didn't really bump into yourself. You reached out and says, "Hey, I'm so-and-so." And I went, "Oh shit, that's that scary guy. He'll be pissed in a half an hour." No. And look, long story short,
was it 9 in the morning?
Yeah. Look, you reached out and says, look, I know a guy and he's got your dad's HO. Would you like to come and see it? Well, you know, that just, boy, that was the start of it. And yeah, this was my very first viewing, and even I think Mum and Dad's for a long time, to see the genuine GTHO that Dad owned back in the 70s. So mate, big raps to you for reaching out, and we've become great mates. And to pull this together, become great mates, and see that car, and have that sort of back in the family with regards to we know where it is, and get to see it. Great memory there.
I'm not going to throw you under the bus, Judith, but I do remember when you left that night. It was quite emotional, actually. There were tears in your eyes, and just to be reunited with that car again.
Yeah, no, it was a very emotional night. Yeah, because I had tried to get that car for Bruce's. Was it his 40th birthday? Careful.
Dad's shared a bit of the story.
Has he?
Yeah, because he says, "Oh, you know, there's a point in time when you know your own worth, and you know what? My worth wasn't good enough to have her buy that car."
Yeah.
But it's
But the guy's done a wonderful job to restore that car back to what it was.
Yeah. Good. Credit to Fred. He has done a magnificent job.
It's been awesome, Barry, for that connection, and awesome to catch up with it. And I've had my XE Falcon photographed with that car, and I treasure that linkage. I was never old enough to sit in the car back in the day because it was gone before I was born, but I have sat in it now, so I've closed that itch off, if you like. I've fulfilled that part of life. Yes. Anyhow, moving on. Jeez, where are we at? Oh dear, what's going on here? So, Baz, you introduced yourself to the team back then, and you've never been far from it. And I'm not sure what's going on here.
Yeah, we can't. I think we've just. Is it just me, or is it we've dropped off because the screen on the we can't see the. Can you see it, Judith?
No.
Can you?
Oh no, I can see the screen. Yep.
Righto. I might have to tap into. I've just been booted out. It's not the first time I've been booted out of things.
Oh no, you've lost connection, have you, to the stream?
To the Discord. Yeah.
Oh.
No, it looks like I'm giving Barry a hard time there too.
You might have to talk me through it, but.
So I sent you this photo earlier today, and you had the T-shirt on.
Yep.
Sitting in pit lane at Hampton Downs, and Mum's got her arms crossed. Pretty. Oh, I don't know. This is bordering on. She's a bit pissed off at the moment.
Can't be with me.
No.
No, I think you're safe, but I think Dad's the one that's in a shitload of trouble, going by the look of the back of the car.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So,
not in a good state. Yeah.
No. So.
Yeah.
Are you back with us, Baz? You're going to find the picture, hopefully.
Yeah, I think I'm just about there.
Yeah, good man. So.
Yes. Yeah.
There you go.
Yep.
So there's John Forrest. He's underneath the car, and Jeff is working on the rear wheel, and Dad's he's he's pleading ignorant or something. But good times, Baz, since you've been around and you've joined in a little bit. But again, here's, I suppose, just jumping forward a few eras. There's a thumbs up from the team. Mum's always around. We're having a great time and supporting Dad. Following his passion, which is his Mustang, Jeff, myself, and trying to do as much to keep the wheels going. And Mum's been in there as well, organising the team and picking up the trophies. Look at that.
Oh yeah, no, we've always got to pick up the trophy.
So this was.
They're in safe hands.
That was for the team's trophy, wasn't it?
Yeah, so this was a CMC Pit Crew of the Year. So that was a pretty good accolade for the whole team to achieve. We're fortunate that we turn up at the race meeting. We've done it for a few years, and yeah, we usually bring enough to get things going, and yeah, don't mind helping a few competitors to make sure that the grid's well and truly full. And yeah, it was nice that the teams acknowledge that. So yeah, it's those are the special ones, eh, Baz? You know, when your peers sort of think you've done a pretty good job.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
So Mum, look at that, she's all dolled up, which is she's not wearing the Tina Turner outfit there. But yeah, now this we're moving forward. That last one was I think around the mid teens, 20 teens, so 2015 I was going to hazard a guess. We know where this is, Baz, don't we? It's pretty fitting that it's come up. We went over there.
Where's that?
Your shirt probably gives it away.
Yeah, but it was. I'm just trying to think of the year. What was it? Is that 16 or 19?
This is the first one. 19. Yeah, this is 16. Yeah.
9.
So
All
right. This is pretty cool because, as we talked on before, Mum wasn't able to go to watch Dad race at Bathurst, and it was probably a little itch that Mum maybe, you know, back in mind, you know, that place hadn't been there for a race meeting. She'd been there on holiday, and Dad had driven around in a rental car, as everybody would do, but she'd never been there for a race meeting. Well, the way that the circles turned, 2016, Dad got invited back to go and race 30-something years later. And yeah, did bloody well. And Mum got to watch him to race around Bathurst. So that was really cool.
Just an amazing place, isn't it? Just something different.
Yeah. Yep. So very, very cool that that Mum got to see that. And there he is there in pit lane, about to head out. And it's, I know, you know, when Andrea comes to the race meeting, and for Dad, from a driver's perspective, you don't, you know, if the partners are there, they don't have to say much. But if you just see them there, it gives you a lot of confidence and support and relaxing and stuff like that. So I'm sure Dad appreciated you being there, Mum. She's always got a story to tell. So she's given. This is our good friend of the team, Jeff Cottle, and he supported us and myself, and he's a great guy. And this is Mum and Jeff getting on, and Mum's given him the download.
I think Judith's actually telling Jeff, I think that timekeeper's wrong.
It might have gone to the DeLorean digital timers, but I'm sure they're friggin' wrong. He's gone quicker than that.
Where do you find these photos?
Oh, I've just got a few stashed away. So yeah, it's
because Jeff stayed with us, didn't he?
He did. Yeah, he heard about the trip, and it was a unique experience. 2016 to go over, and he just said he had to be a part of it, and he just got on a plane and got there and says, I don't know where I'm gonna stay or what I'm gonna do, but we just got to our house and we had a spare bed, and said, Jeff, you're more than welcome to it. And it was great to have him along for the journey and the experience, and it's fun. It's been very cool. Now, what was very cool, and we touched on it before, but you know, again, an image, Baz, this sort of says it all.
Oh.
Yep.
Good friends.
Yeah, good friends, good company.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
gosh.
DJR Team Penske, you know, the biggest team in town. I think Roger was obviously in town, but Dick, he's pretty keen to get Jude in and say hi, and there's Jilly, catching up with them. So that's real special. They mightn't see each other for a long time and chat a bit on Facebook and social media these days, which is really cool. But just great mates, very similar backgrounds, and poor old Jilly's been dragged around the tracks and as much as Mum has. So
I think we've got that much in we've got so much in common because of that. Just following our partners around and helping out.
Yeah, just get it. We saw Mum on the timing tower. Jilly's, there's many photos back in Dick's books of Jill being that pivotal part of the team. And there's Mum and Dick catching up. And I mean, occasionally your dad would be travelling to Australia, wouldn't he, to sell timber. And I think one time you just so happened lucked on to being at the same hotel, and Dick was doing a book signing, or he was guest of honour at a yeah, he was. And I know a little bit about the story, but Dick just waltzed in or Dad waltzed in to see Dick.
Yeah, no, we had gone to the rugby, and we'd gone to see the Bledisloe Cup, and came back to the hotel, and there was so many people there, and we just asked at the reception, what's going on? There's so many people here, and they said, oh, Dick's doing a book launch in the conference room. So Bruce, being Bruce, he said, well, I'm going in. So when he went, and I said, you can't do that. He said, I'm going in to see Dick. So Dick was up at the head table giving off his presentation, and Bruce walks in and waltzes right up to the front of the room, and I just stayed at the door. I was so embarrassed about this. And then the next thing is Dick standing up there saying, Jude, where are you? You better come down here. It was
so
great.
Mum got in trouble for not going in to see him, so she was ordered in to come in and see him. So that's pretty cool.
That's cool. Yeah.
So we've got a few photos, but we'll probably skip through these ones reasonably quickly. Jumping forward, 2017. You remember this trip, Mum?
Spa.
Yeah.
Spa. Yes. And you
So
guys
there's me
getting out for a drive in a Porsche. Yeah.
or getting a ride, but yeah, this was a shout out to Mum who sponsored the hot lap that day. So Dad and I got to go for a hot lap round Spa and that. So this was pretty cool for me because Mum and Dad were on a trip around Europe and England, and I happened to be in Germany for a conference, which just happened to have a race meeting the week before. So have it, just coincidence, Baz.
The stars aligned.
We got to be at the Spa Classic to see Dad's car race, and flying halfway around the world to go and catch up with your mum and dad to spend a weekend together. That was pretty cool. I remember sitting in the cafe in the middle of Spa, just thinking, this is so cool. Just sitting,
it was
chilling.
really bizarre.
Yeah, just having a relaxed time in the middle of Spa, just with mum and dad.
And Bruce and Judith are saying, geez, I thought we were far enough away.
Oops, I just popped out a script. Yeah, never mind.
Yeah.
I think it was Mother's Day, and I took a Mother's Day card halfway around the world to my mum. So there you go. That's love.
That's right.
Yeah.
So we caught up with the team that runs Dad's second car, which is Wayne's primary car. There's me with David Huxley, Nigel Greenshall next to Mum, who's his pro co-driver, and Dad. Very, very, very cool weekend. There's the car, the proof that we did go there.
It was wonderful to see the car again.
Yeah, and also for David, who's going to come on the show in a week or two's time when he gets clear of some business activities. And it's cool to keep the history going. And there's a pretty iconic shot. This is heading up En Rouge, heading up the Kemmel Strait. So in the background is En Rouge, and cars coming forward to us out of shot to left up the Kemmel Strait. So you've been to some pretty iconic places, Mum. I know a lot of race car fans would be pretty envious to not only be at Bathurst, the Wellington Street races, but to be at Spa, and you've been to Indy, you've been to Talladega, there's one thing I'll never forgive you and Dad for, is being at the Indianapolis for Nigel Mansell's rookie race. He's my idol, and you were there, and that's one I can't forgive you for. But
and of course, last year we missed out because of COVID. We missed out on Monaco.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, you were supposed to be at Monaco.
Yeah, booked in for that. Missed out on that.
Well, I'm sure it'll come up. So skipping through, this was saying goodbye. They thought they said goodbye to me in Whenuapai, but this is me saying goodbye to them in Belgium. So, and shortly after that, Mum became a bionic woman with a new hip. She'd pretty much stuffed it out by that 6-week trip.
Yep.
We're back in New Zealand now, and she's found some old mates again. So Dad's out doing practice, and Mum's in the pit lane mingling. So it's all right. She could just go get the timing sheets later on and find out how he did.
Yeah. Don't need to do it now. It's all electronic.
Yeah, there's friends to catch up with in pit lane. So we're skipping through. Oh, this was pretty cool. I put this up here. Not only my young mate Imi from Invercargill, but this was the inaugural weekend racing the XE, the new XE, and I won the round. And this was us collecting the trophy. And I owe Mum and Dad a huge amount for that, and equally amount, probably more for Mum, to be fair.
And so which track was that one at?
So this was Hampton Downs, the first meeting that we won the round, and this was getting the trophy at round 2. So we collected the winner's trophy, and Imi had come up as well. So she's holding the winning trophy, and I got second overall because on points the class 2 car won the points. But anyhow,
That's right.
But yeah, I mean that was pretty special to be able to drive that bit of history and recreate it, and nothing more special than sharing it. The following round, I think this was about round 4, when guess who turns up for round 4? Yeah, he's come back again.
There he is again.
He keeps chasing you guys around.
Something like that. Yeah, so Dick came along to the Legends of Speed, which was round 4 that year. Got to see the XE for the first time, and obviously first thing he checked out, wasn't it, Baz? He went round to the guards and checked out that his name was on it, because it wasn't going to be an authentic replica if it didn't have his name on the guard. So it sure did, from the Wellington street race era, and that's pretty cool. And obviously we did get to take it to Aussie and race Stephen in 2019, so that was even cool. All right, what have I got left here, guys? I'm pretty much getting to the bottom of the barrel. Sorry, maybe not.
More parties.
I suppose this the benefit of following Dad around with the Central Muscle Cars. This is the annual AGM and the compulsory dress up. So this was 2019 down in Cromwell. So Mum and the girls matching outfits. I think there was quite a few hippies that night, so that was pretty cool. But just epitomises again. Mum's in there. She's having she's having fun and getting stuck in.
So a good bunch of people to be with anyway.
It is, some great friends, great times, and been to some great places. So it's great to have. I think Mum's half the problem with us leading the rest of us astray, Baz.
I reckon she should be on more trips.
Don't leave me behind.
Don't leave me behind.
No, life of the party.
Yeah. So getting towards the end, we touched on it, and here's one of my babies. This is my tribute car to Dad's car back in the day, and recently, as I shared on Dad's page, I chucked all the stickers on, and changed the look of it around, but Mum thinks it's pretty cool. And nothing cooler than getting your mum's sign of approval of what you're doing. So
no, it looks much better with the stickers on
it.
So that's cool. And there's it's pretty fitting, isn't it, Baz? Look what's on the windscreen up above her.
Johnson.
Mum's little.
Mum's
other fan.
The fan club.
Yeah, it doesn't have a T in the middle there, mate. It's not Johnston.
Yeah, I know. I might bring my felt tip next time.
Yeah. And just to sign off, this hasn't, well, it's sort of broken cover. This was only a few days ago, a week ago. This was actually Mum on her birthday, on the 2nd. I just finished putting my new baby together, which is another tribute to one of Dad's cars, but who better to share the first ride in it? And Sharon Cuttance and Greg Cuttance have given me raspberries. Oh, you could have let her drive it. It's like this is like the second time I got to drive it. I love Mum, but I don't love her that much that I'm going to let her drive my car before me.
We'll get a turn sometime.
Yeah, absolutely. And so this is going for a ride. And you look at that, Baz. Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Thumbs up.
Yeah.
Seal of approval.
Yep, that's right.
Seal of approval right there in one shot. So
yeah,
that's pretty cool. And that just about brings us to, sorry, Dad, you should have changed your socks.
Oh,
I didn't. Look at the socks. He's glowing in the door. Never mind. Yeah, so that pretty much brings the photos that I've got to an end, other than, I suppose, one last one, and I didn't get anybody else's approval for it, but too bad. I'm going to share it. And that's from all of us.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
This is the company's cool. 75th anniversary a couple of years ago, but there's the whole whānau, your whānau, and yeah, thanks for everything you've done supporting not only the team, because it's a bit of a team shout out, but I mean all of us girls, the girls and me, and I'm sure Dad as well. We appreciate everything you've done, and this is a little trip down memory lane for the team side of things, but yeah, it's nice to say thank you.
Well, it's been a wonderful journey that we've gone on, and we've met some lovely people on the way and made some lovely, lovely friends. It's been a good time.
Yeah, and many more to come.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's right. Yeah.
So that's we've kept a few people entertained, and Ross is still passing very positive comments, I'm sure, as nobody else could do. But yeah, we've had a few people online. It's nice to have the comments. Thanks for putting your input in. Some of the team connections, the company connections, some of the names like the great Tom Pinepac and others getting mentioned. Obviously, our friends that are not around anymore, the likes of Cosmo and those who, I know you and Cosmo had a soft spot with each other, Mum.
Yes.
So yeah, it's nice to go down memory lane, and thanks for sharing the evening with us, and we hope we've entertained a few people. If nothing else, well, you didn't have to stay online so long, you could have changed the channel.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to sign this off and catch up with you guys in a second.
Cheers.
Okay.
Good
Bye.
night.
All right, I think I'm clear.